Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to Train with Barry, the show for fitness beginners, and we have a guest with us. Reg is back. Barry, fill us in.
Man, he's back all right. Yeah, he's been blowing my phone up, man. He's like, look, I got to get back on there, tell my story. He said, I'm a comeback trail. So he's ready to get back on it and do his thing. So we're going to give him an opportunity to tell what he's been through, just a little nip and tuck and plastic surgery. He's good to go. Tell you what
Wait,
you
wait,
got.
no, 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 not no plastic surgery. You had like
Oh, no, no, no.
you had a,
My bad.
a nip and tuck. You see how he's setting you up, right?
My bad. I think it's hip replacement, man. My bad.
Really? How did that go? Tell me the whole thing.
It was a good experience, and the reason I just like to tell the story. I came here. We talked on a previous show, and that was in November. Was I started. Let's put it this way. I was on various programs starting in November. Tell you how I was eating, and then my supplements and everything. It started in November, so I knew I was gonna have hip replacement surgery, which happened March 17th.
So
Okay.
you knew you were needing a hip.
Yes.
How long have you been dealing with hip issues?
Oh, it's been a couple of years, about 2 years, and it's not gonna go away. Once it's bone to bone, it's bone to bone. I mean, I
That's
was there.
and that was your condition, bone on bone, huh?
Yes,
Oh man.
it's very painful. So but what kept me moving was working out. So November, just been hanging with Barry. We had talked about it, like with his previous shows. Uh, I signed up for the program, and I said I'm gonna work out from November to the surgery. And what I was trying to do basically was strengthen everything around the hip, right? So, because the hardest part about once you do a total replacement is, of course, it's the PT, rehab.
Yeah.
That was the challenge. So I was trying to get, I was getting prepared for it. So fast forward, March 17th, with the way I eat, strength training. Uh, but I'm gonna tell you, the main thing is your mindset. You got to be positive. I had to change my mindset. For it's like that day is coming. So basically, by working out, eating, you got to be disciplined. And when the surgery came, you wake up as your life will change for a little bit. And I got up, and you got to do some movement. Then you want to use the restroom. Well, with me, when I got up, they got me up, and it's like, yeah, surgery was there. I mean, I can feel the cut, but I can also feel everything else as far as my strength, my upper body, uh, my calves. It was there, but it's like everything else just made up for, that cut because I was training it. So being a doctor had a conversation, and I was telling him, I do protein shakes. I was just telling him a routine, say go right back, go, it was a Tuesday. I was going to have PT Thursday. Well, when I got home, I started back on my protein shakes, everything, the way I was eating. Of course, you got to be on pain medication, and that was a challenge for me. Wednesday, the pain medication just made me. It took a lot of energy out of me. Okay, to make the long story short. And I said, I can't do this. So, I switched up, went to Tylenol. But what really got me just thinking about Barry, what gives you energy is food. But it takes a while to get your appetite back once you
Yeah.
do things like this. Fast forward, that Thursday, I mean, I just fed my body just protein, food. And I'm going to tell you, the next day, I felt the energy just come back. It just came back in me. Next thing I'm on the walk, I'm moving. My mindset. You got to be positive. The pain go be there, but my mindset is just like going to the gym. Hardest part is getting there. And then you got to be disciplined to be able to eat. It's but the investment to go to rehab, and they're like, whoa, I came in on a walker, and then that Tuesday, I was walking into the doctor's office without a cane or a walker.
Less than a week.
That's in 7 days. And I walked in the office and I was like, Doc, what I'm doing wrong? And he started laughing. Both of us said, because here I am, I'm walking in here. Now, I wasn't walking, 100%, but I didn't need a cane. I didn't need a walker. And I'm like, and I surprised myself, but then thinking the program with me and Barry, where we talked about everything we're talking about on this show that he's been talking about. And I'm going to say it again. Barry know what he's talking about. It worked. It helped me. Because you got to think of this. And this for people who don't want to make that decision, they kind of, it's a fear factor why they don't want to have the hip replaced, knee replaced.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yes. That's why I said the mindset.
Yeah.
We all gonna go through this. We have to change our mind. And the first test is once you challenge yourself to try to eat right. We're not gonna be perfect to train. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I'm sitting here. What really got me was my upper body. When you're sitting in a bed or a hospital bed, or and you need to learn how to lift yourself. I wasn't able to lift myself up, and I can move. Now, this right here, I'm icing it down, but everything here, upper body, the strength, and in June, I turned 58. Okay.
I still don't believe that. Barry, did you check this guy's ID? I don't believe that.
A couple more weeks. And I'm telling you, if I wouldn't have been taking care of myself, got on a program, it never would have happened.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things I was thinking about while you were saying that was, you said you got into the mindset. And for lack of a better term, well, mindset is probably the best term, but basically a training camp mindset before the surgery, because you had to get into the zone of working out and eating right. But you mentioned the pain and the bone on bone. How did you manage that with actually still being able to strengthen everything around it? Like, using that mobility, wouldn't that hurt just as bad, if not worse, or did you just push through it?
Well, I had, you got to push through. I had supplements, the Tylenol. It's just you take things, but go back to your mindset. I knew I had to make a decision. I'm gonna go ahead and replace this. I'm gonna go ahead and get this done so I can have a quality life, because you got other parts of your body. Like the crazy part when you say that. My right, it was on my left side. So my right, I guess it took a beating. It did basically, I put a lot of load on this one. I can feel it now. It's neat. It's amazing how the body works. But it's getting better because I'm moving. We have to move. You can sit here and watch these podcasts every day, but if you don't move to try to go do something, it's going to still be there. Just like the bone on bone. I had to keep moving. And it's just mind over matter. And
that's a lot of things he couldn't do, though. He was smart enough when he trained legs to do what he's capable of doing, which I talked to him about. Not that he didn't already know that. Like, he wasn't going to squat.
Right.
He could do a little bit of leg extension, leg press. Certain things what he was able to do, as I say all the time, what you're capable of doing, just keep doing it. But don't do things that bothers you, don't do it. Right. Sounds silly, but it's true.
Well, you kind of mentioned. I remember you telling me about the sound check round that you do when you're working out, and it seems like that would be even just as important, if not more so, in a case like this.
Yeah, every set. I mean, today I was kidding with you today, but I squatted heavy today. Heavy for me, probably more than I've squatted in 12 years easily. But every set I do, I bump, from 2.25 to 275. I'm not going up if if anything feels twerky to me in that 275, I'm not bumping it. But if it feels all right to me, I'm bumping it. But if I have any setback or back tweaks a little bit, my knees bother me, I'm gonna back it on down and move on.
Like your hip, for instance, and in this case, you had your advice would be if you're strengthening your hip for hip replacement, not to do squats, but everything you probably can
Yeah, I'm not too
deal
troubled
with.
about doing like the ball squats. I don't think that would have been far something he could have done there just because of the position his body would have been in. He could have
Oh, I
done that
see.
and no weight bearing.
Right.
But for him, leg press, leg extension, leg curls, all he really probably needed to do. Um, and even he said the leg extensions bothered him a little bit, but that was coming out of the hole. So I just told him to adjust the setting on that to where it doesn't come all the way back, to where he just gets this range of motion in the top part, which is part of the reason why that's why that machine's designed like that. Some people know, some don't, but it's designed because it's a great rehab piece. But you find where you need to have it that you're not putting yourself in a bad position, put too much pressure on your hips or your knees or whatever the case may be.
And that's the case, Reg. A lot of modification to those exercises.
Exactly. Exactly. It's and then I had to lose weight. So I know when I came, I did this, this podcast. I tell you, I had to break my weight down just to take some pressure off it. So, and at the time we was talking, Barry, we had discussion, but then the strength training. See, the strength training wasn't on my mind. Basically, it was basically I was consumed with like I got to lose weight to get some pressure off. But when I put the strength training in it, and then with the supplements like the protein and creatine, and then when I started doing that, I could tell I gained. I mean, I wasn't really on the scale, but you can see your body transforming into like strength, like getting stronger, and that's what got me through this. I mean, tomorrow. Yesterday was 3 weeks, and I have no pain. I'm moving. And basically, I'm into the stretching part, but I'm still working out. I haven't forgotten about the other body parts, just because that happened. So I'm kind of like, letting my physical therapy, they working with, stretching me out on that. But I also am doing. I go to the gym. I get the workout. Maybe not like Barry with the weights. Yeah, but it's something you
I
got
don't
to.
believe it. I'm looking at this. He says he's not pushing heavy weight, this guy.
No, but you know what? I will say I saw him before the surgery. His waist pretty much, he lost all his gut.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what he lost in his waist, probably an inch or two, but he definitely stuck with the diet program,
Yeah.
the food program, because his stomach was as flat as I've ever seen it.
So how much weight did you actually lose up to the surgery?
Uh, with the max, it was like 8 pounds.
Okay.
But I lost about 8 pounds. But with Barry,
But he put muscle on, so
yeah,
it's hard to say what it equates to in real weight, you know.
Right.
I could tell. Then when Barry said, "Don't the scale, don't let it," he's right.
Yeah.
So you can see it, like you said, my everything started trimming. I can see it. I can feel it. So that helped me. It pushed me mentally to until I got the hip replaced. But strength training and food was the key. And then I think number one is your mindset. You got to have your mindset. You got
And he
to.
was coming to work without a shirt on, so we had to tell him to put a shirt on
Yeah,
to
that
work.
mindset, the
Wasn't
mindset's all
appropriate.
that mindset's all
Yeah,
wrong right there. You gotta
coming in
adjust
there,
that.
no shirt on. I'm like, man, put a shirt on.
No, but that's it's funny you say that too because I'm thinking part of the mindset is here's the important question. What did they feed you while you were in there? Were you able to stay on the plan, or is this a deviation from the plan? Did they take care of you? Was the food any good in there?
Well, now, I'm an outpatient. I went in and
So you didn't have to stay, you just went in, did a procedure. How long did it take them?
I got there at 10 a.m. and I was home by 4:30.
Really? And that's how long it takes for them to give you a new hip.
So, but the thing is, you need some assistance. So once you're in that bed, your life changed for a couple of days.
Yeah.
That's why I say your mindset. Look, listen, that's just the hip. There's other things people deal with. This can blend. Because one day all of us might have to face we need some type of surgery. That's why you have to get into the gym. You have to get some dumbbells. You need to be doing something. because one day we all will be in a bed where you have to move. You got to be able to move a little bit. So that's the challenge. And it was just a challenge for me. But the food, talking with Barry, I remember Thursday, that's all I did was just protein. I just fed my body and I could feel it. The energy was coming in. Wasn't nobody, some people I'm gonna eat all this. So I went to surgery, I'm gonna have fried food. No, I just clean. 3 days, just straight clean eating. And it made a difference.
How's the other hip doing?
That's fine. It's just the knee. And I'm not waiting this time, so I got an appointment in 2 weeks for that.
Right. Okay.
So,
So to just to kind of compensate, you took a little bit to the opposite knee.
right.
Okay.
But it's getting better. But the thing is, just this is a wake up call for me. You need to know what's going on with your body, and we need to make time. We need to make time. And it's amazing. You will make time to be the best on the job. What we do for our careers, or make sure your car go in and get PM. But your body, health is wealth.
Man, that is a good point. That is a good point because people don't put the investment into their body that they do other things. Wow, thanks for calling me out on that. So,
But it's
uh,
about the recovery. I think the biggest thing from all this to me, there's a lady we work with. She works on my crew call. She had hip replacement 2 years ago, still walks with a cane 2 years
really?
later. And I don't know that she'll ever, be honest with you, get her. And she's probably in her 70s of some sort. But again, it's not for, if you're not been there, done that, you don't have the strength and the muscle base, and you've atrophied that much, where she has all her life, and then has surgery. It's kind of tough for her ever. I don't know that she thought they told her like 3 months. I'm telling you, it's been, if it hadn't been longer, it's been every bit of 2 years.
And
Yeah,
and you can kind of tie that back to her mindset
yeah,
that you
yeah,
were speaking about, Reggie,
yeah,
about basically her getting herself into that mindset of not only is it a replacement, but you're gonna have to eat clean and you got to build muscle.
yeah. Use it or lose it is such a real deal. There's another lady works for us, similar. She's I haven't seen her now in the last couple of weeks. Last time I saw her, she was also on a cane, and that was probably over a month in. Older lady, but just due to atrophy, deterioration, no base. So the mindset with that is, and again, I've told this story a few times on here, like my mother when she had a problem with her hip, and the rehab was too painful. She just chose not to go. So she went from that right to wheelchair. That's how she ended up living the rest of her life. And that happens a lot. A lot of people can't handle the pain of rehab. And talking about a mindset now, that is a mindset. When I had my quad ripped out of my knee, and when rehab started with that, like 3 days in, 4 days in, I had to go get nerve blocks. Well, them stick that needle, inch and a half needle in your groin. I'm telling you what, it's like putting your screwdriver in a wall socket. It's been like, seriously, about being like electrocuted, but it numbs the quad to allow him to get in there, and you start listening to bending that knee. It's like the 4th of July,
Oh,
popping, cracking, and whatever. But without that, he could have never done it. So it ain't for everybody. I mean, I tell you what, and he said, Gary, I'll see you on Friday. Go back and go get another nerve block shot. And I'm thinking, nah, I ain't going back and get another shot.
don't think I will.
It was really painful. Sir. I can't even tell you how painful it was. But you got no choice. You either do it or you don't. And so again, that's where people will struggle. And I say it over and over and over again. This is just about quality of life. Don't get to your life where you think it's now, when I'm finally made it through my work stage, I can settle down, and now I can't even function in life, enjoy retirement because I can't get in and out of my bed or out of a chair without being in pain.
Well, a lifestyle of just kind of just eating how you want to and not getting a steady workout plan and will
Yeah.
lead right down to that path easily. And I think the way that the the doctor business is set up, I don't know, yeah, I forget smarter words, but the doctor business. I mean, they just want to give you some
Some
kind
kind
of
of
pill,
medication. Yeah.
medication, put you on some kind of
Take some
prescription,
there. Yeah.
and if that causes some backup somewhere and you can't poop because of the medication, well,
Right.
they got another one for that. So
Right.
it gets these people on this like roller coaster regimen where honestly it's a replacement regimen. It's a replacement plan. Then you're either going to get on the plan the doctor gives you or you're going to get on the plan at the gym that Barry gives you.
Yeah, it's a lifetime plan. That's why people don't want to get on high blood medicine or cholesterol, whatever the case may be, because once you're on there, it's almost impossible to get off. So better to get in the gym. You want a prescription for high blood or for diabetes, food and training. Take care of that 100% of the time.
How's
That's what.
your how's your training going right now, Rich?
Oh, this the mindset again because it's gonna be something else. It's like preventive. So now my life has changed basically working out. We was talking the other day. Strength training is like a priority for me now because I seen like Friday morning I had to lift myself up so much that I can feel it in my shoulders
You were sore.
or sore. And I'm like, if I didn't have this, then that's when you need some assistance.
That's when you need the person to come over and actually roll you so you don't get bed sores. You got to have the person move you because you can't move yourself like you're saying.
Right.
I'm getting it.
I think just for beginners, this is just me. Barry he has so much knowledge. And I know sometimes it's like seem like, 0 to 100 because he's been doing it for so long.
Easy now, Reggie. Easy. We don't need to constantly put Barry over. This whole show is called Train with Barry. Okay. All right.
It's that bedroom when you sitting there, if you need to learn. I mean, everybody start just one push up. You got to get your body weight down. You just practice it. If you can't move your body, if you can't move, we got problems. I'm just saying, if you want to be here, because they will feed you
It's
medication.
only going to get worse. That's what I'm talking about. It ain't going to stay status quo.
Yeah, it don't move unless you move.
That one's going down in the book, Reg. If you can't move your body, we got problems.
It's a major problem, and it's what you do before. Have you how you live your life now? I just thank God that I did do a lot of moving, in my 20s. And, being a youth, y'all see the kids today, they don't go outside like I did. So, yeah, it helped me. Just, I
Yeah,
understand the importance of moving
being active. Yeah.
and active.
Yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, we would ride our bikes all the way across the city, it seemed like,
Right.
you
You
know?
ride a bike now, you just got a motor on it. You ain't got a pedal now.
You just plug it in.
It's almost, if you think about it, designed for the society to watch people deteriorate the way they do, because everything they create is something to take away from people getting any kind of activity or exercise involved.
Right. You don't even have to figure out how to get there. You just tell the bike where you're going. The bike
Yeah,
will figure it out for you.
yeah,
And it'll just take you there, no legs involved. So you're right. They're kind of shoehorning you or funneling everyone into this lifestyle. And I see these uh posts all the time about the food that's in the grocery stores and the ingredients lists. And Barry, you talk about it all the time, how you were in the deli department and you read the Lady the Riot Act because of what's actually in the turkey.
right.
And they find ways to sneak in the colors. They have 100 different ways to sneak in sugars under different names. And if you're not paying attention, even if you're paying attention, it's going to sneak in and sneak by you. I don't know what they're putting on the fruit these days, but I mean, fruit is fruit. I want to eat a fresh piece of fruit, but you almost can't trust a lot of that stuff, so you got to be careful where you pick it up from. So you're right. It's almost like it's coming from every angle, and if you're not aware or have the right mindset, as Reggie likes to call it, which he's right, you got to have your mind in the game. So it's very interesting to see that come through. I'm glad to see things working good for you, Reggie. Are you giving Barry some workout tips?
No. I thank him. I do. Just the conversation. I mean, he took his time to talk with me, just from general conversation, we'd be at work, but I signed up for it, and I understand what the part I did. One thing I do know, once you start working, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. So my mindset was already there. I said, okay, let's see what happens. And what that's done for me, to right now is I learned how to listen to my body.
That's important. That's important to know how to listen to your body.
Right, and that's where I'm at now, and it's very important. Like I say, health is wealth. Um, this really has changed. That's why I just wanted to tell. In 7 days from that, it's what I did before. So some people are like, oh, take your time, which you have, and I did. I did a lot of resting, but you still have to move. If they tell you, well, take your time, you do, but you still have to move somewhere. You have to move. You can't sit there for a week in the bed and
Right.
expect this to automatic happen.
Right. And talk about taking your time. Right. Yeah. And it's funny because that's exactly what these ladies must have been doing. The ones that you mentioned there, Barry, or you're saying that, you got a lady who's on a cane for years after the hip surgery.
Yeah, I guess they
She's
think
no,
it's the
she's
norm.
taking her time for sure.
Yeah, it's just the norm. I don't think they think anything different, realizing what they went through, which is a big deal, and just think that they accept it. They don't think that there's anything better and beyond that. And so they don't know any better, number one. Number two, they've never really been in the gym. She's not anyone that I know she's never been in a gym in her life.
Well,
Worked out.
you mix that with just the aging process, and a lot of seniors and even folks maybe middle age, or even young folks like me and Reggie. We know that when you're paying attention to it. I totally lost my train of thought because I wanted to call me and Reggie young folks in front of Barry. So I'm sure I had something smart in there to say, but with that, it looks like the producer man is flashing the lights
Really?
at us. He's flashing. I mean, we got a good 5 minutes left.
I
You
wanted
know,
to cut five off because of Reg.
Yeah.
it's possible, but I doubt it. I think they'd extend it. The show's good. We might just train with Reggie. We'll
No,
change
it
the
is. It's a cool
background.
story. It's a cool. I mean, for what he's been able to do, and like I said, not everybody does it. Obviously, it's a very small percentage. We joke about the 93% club. It's real, but it's a small percentage of people, and trust me, even smaller, that could do something that he did in 1 week. Just be walking, no cane, no nothing at all, no walker in a week.
Yeah.
That's not. But that's again, everything was about the preparation prior to what he did to get it done. Now he's back in the game doing what he's doing.
Well, I gotta feel like you're a little bit of an anomaly, Reggie. I mean, it sounds funny, but it's serious because we're making jokes about how it seems like you're not pushing big weight. You have obviously a physique built for holding muscle, and this kind of rehabilitation that you were able to make happen in such a short amount of time, I think is a testament to the activity that you had when you were younger, because you mentioned that you had a bit of an active lifestyle, and that maybe set you up to. I mean, you didn't say it, but I'm saying maybe that set you up for the mindset that is needed in something like that. No?
Yes, I agree with you 100. I used to cycle. I did that for 10 years. But I still do. And I mean, not now, but all that. this. What I'm trying to say, we have to move. By me moving when I was in my 30s and 40s, and then my 50s, the moving, I'm able to have these surgeries. So sometimes, it depends on what type of life. You want a quality life, we have to make that hard decision. Let's go ahead and do this surgery. So it might not be the hip. It might be something else. Anytime you get put under, you go under the knife,
Scary.
it's scary, and it's PT. The PT is the hard. The surgery is the easy part. The hard part is the rehab. Okay,
Yeah.
because you don't know what's going on during surgery, but the rehab, you're gonna know what's going on. If you don't move, you'll be dealing with that for a while, and that's the point I'm trying to make to people. If one person just like, man, I got to get to moving, and this.
I think if we read between the lines here, I'm not sure 100%. I think Reggie's calling you out. I just think. I'm not sure. Not by name. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you felt it too, Maybe not directly, but thanks. You might be right. I'll write that down in the book also. Well, it's great to hear that you're doing so well with it. To be honest with you, are you looking forward to getting to back to any specific activity that you've been holding back from right now?
But just strength training right now. So I'm gonna go. So it's only like it's been 3 weeks. So I'll probably I don't know go I don't know maybe 2 3 months just strength training. Everything else and I'm kind of baby. Listen to the doctors on this on my hip. Kind of baby, but I'm still working my tries, bis, chest, back. Yeah, it's not gonna stop that because I need it. It's like an automobile. You gotta have everything got to come together at the end of the day. Okay.
That's beautiful.
So
Yeah.
I can't forget about the other parts. And I'm going to just baby this right now. And then when that time comes, when I feel the strength, then squats or whatever. But I'm not going to rush it. But yeah.
How many workouts are you getting in weekly right now, or is it just PT based?
It's PT. And then the strength training, I go to I do the gym. I did chest today. This morning I did chest. So just body parts. Make sure I hit one body part a week. And the time we got to make time. We have to, and I make time. See, my mindset is this is mine, but this is an investment. I got to invest in myself. So in 10 years from now, God's will, I'm still here. If I have another surgery, I'll be able to move. Because that was the negative part when I seen older people rehabbing, they couldn't move. I can't do this. Me, I'm like a little kid right now. I'm just moving, and it's a reality check. Just put it that way. Thank you for the platform.
No, hey man, we appreciate you coming on and sharing that with us, and that's important. If there's anybody listening to this that has hip issues or is concerned about an upcoming surgery that they may need to have, it's good for them to hear that it is a mindset thing. It's within their control. That if they focus on their diet and they focus on listening to their body when they're working out and when they're getting that weight in, then they can set themselves up to be able to handle something like a hip replacement without it diminishing their quality of life that it happens to so many people that way, it seems like.
Yeah, a good time to start working out now and getting your diet right now. Prepare for when that surgery does come around, which is going to make the rehab 100 times easier.
Yeah. 10-4 on that. Well, if you found anything helpful in this video, if you like what you heard, we'd appreciate it if you hit the like button right down there. There's a little thumbs up button. And if you look to the left of that, there's a bell notification. Click on that. And if you click on it twice, you'll see a menu come up. You can hit all. And that way, every time we post a new show, we'll send you a notification. But until next time, and with that being said, Barry, how can people reach out to you?
Train with Barry. Hook me up on, like I said, was it Facebook?
Facebook. There you go.
Easiest way to go. Yeah, Facebook. Not just on I got a website, the Train with Barry's on the business side of it, but even on the regular Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. Hit Barry up on Facebook if you have any questions. Also, leave your comments down in the comment section. Any advice for myself, for Barry, or for Reggie? Leave that in the comment
Yeah,
section.
got
Barry,
Reggie on tour.
Reg is on tour. Leave your
Yeah.
comments down there. Let us know what city you'd like to see him in next.
Hey,
We appreciate it. Until next time.
Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Okay.
Reg. Hey, hopefully we'll have you on again and give us another update.
yes.
Barry, until
Yeah,
next
man.
time.
Yeah. Heavy squatting by then.
Heavy squat. All right. I'm writing that down in the book too.
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right. Until next time.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, man.